Van Lith land in this upcoming 2025 WNBA Draft. And Sedona Prince has declared that she is going to be entering. But will she even get drafted? And stay tuned because I have some information that I would like to go over / announce, maybe ask you guys about my YouTube channel programming. So the WNBA Draft is coming up on Monday, April 14th, T-minus 3 days? Or does today count, making it 4? Anyway, it is no question who is going to be going number 1, and that will be Paige Bueckers, fresh off her daddy from UConn. Miles, having decided to go back, will not be going number 2. I don't even know that she would be going number 2. I think that a lot of people are talking about Dominique Malonga going to the Seattle Storm, who have the 2nd pick. There are other debated players going to specific teams who want specific needs, but I want to talk about Hailey Van Lith. She had a pretty stellar season with the TCU Horned Frogs, averaging 17 points a game, 4 rebounds, and 5 assists. And she shot 45%, which is a big improvement to her days at LSU. But she transferred out because I don't know that she was being utilized in the proper way. She seemed to have done so much better at the first school that she started out with, Louisville. But Hailey Van Lith is an avid user of the ever so popular transfer portal and an example of when it works. So in this March 25th mock draft that ESPN had mocked up, they have her going to the Sparks at, number 9. And I gotta say, what Hailey Van Lith was able to accomplish with TCU just raised her draft stock drastically. She kind of fell out of the WNBA draft conversations when she was at LSU, but that all changed as the TCU Horned Frogs, for the first time ever, made it to the Sweet 16, and that was very much in part to Hailey Van Lith and some to Sedona Prince too. And ESPN says the same thing about her stock rising. One thing that I kind of disagree with is that even if there are questions about her defense, there should be no doubt about her winning mentality. She has been successful at Louisville, correct. LSU, okay, this is where they lost me because I would not expect her to be considered having been successful at LSU, as I think most people remember her as getting cooked from Caitlin Clark. But they do mention how she does have a bronze medal in the 3v3, which I think a lot of people expected the U.S. to get a gold or silver at the very least, but they did fall to a bronze medal. That still is a big accomplishment, having a gold medal for Hailey Van Lith, who is not even in the pros. I do think that she will fall pretty low in either the first round or pretty high in the second round, which seems to be the consensus that everyone is saying anyway, because she is a bucket. She is not the best on defense, and I don't think that is what the TCU coach Mark Campbell expected from Hailey Van Lith. And she had Sedona in there in the paint, just kind of defending really well. Olivia Miles transferred there, who also isn't exactly known for her defense. I think he's just going to kind of let her run and really expand on those 3-pointers that she is definitely capable of doing, but hadn't been hitting as much in the latter part of the season. So I can see the Sparks actually making sense for someone like Hailey Van Lith, who is a point guard. They do have Odyssey Sims running the point for them. They have Kelsey Plum, who is not a point guard, definitely a shooting guard, and a very good one at that. But Odyssey Sims came to the Sparks as a relief player, being signed, doing really well with them, so they are going with Odyssey Sims again next season. They do also have Ari McDonald, who was really good for the Sparks at times last season, but I think that if they want to develop a point guard, and given the brand identity that Hailey Van Lith has, it is kind of a good fit there. And I hate to add in brand identity when talking about this stuff, but it is the kind of thing that some people do think of. I could see Connecticut within their rebuilding phase really needing a PR facelift, wanting to bring Hailey Van Lith to put some butts in seats. And Hailey Van Lith would be great for ticket sales for Connecticut. She has a big fandom, and she really might be able to come in and repair some of the public relations nightmares that Connecticut has had. And they have the number 7 pick in the draft on Monday. However, throwing a little wrench in things. I could also see the Golden State Valkyries wanting another face to their team. It seems that a lot of people are excited for Kate Martin to be on the Valkyries, and she has been kind of like unofficially been the face of the Golden State Valkyries. And I think including her on the roster could increase their brand visibility. Now, saying that, they do have Julie Vanlith, who is a more seasoned point guard, and they have Carla Leite, who is a younger point guard. So I don't know if they would maybe start playing her off ball. I don't know that she would even start. But for a new team who is looking to increase their visibility, not that the Golden State Valkyries really need that much visibility increased, as they actually have a lot of people behind them already. But Hailey Van Lith could be like the cherry on top. Now, segueing over to the topic that none of us want to talk about, Sedona Prince. And Sedona did just formally announce that she will be declaring for the WNBA Draft finally. Now, her journey in college started way back in 2018, so she's been there a while. She started out playing for Texas, transferred over to Oregon, but had to sit out because of the eligibility rules at the time in the NCAA. Then in the 2020 to 2021 season, she played for Oregon for 2 seasons. And then in the 2023-2024 season, she transferred over to TCU. And at the ripe old age of 24, is declaring for the draft. Now, having said that, she did have to sit out a season for transferring, and she also was injured for a season. So, I mean, you can't give her too much flack for that, but she is what everyone would consider a super senior. At a towering 6'7" tall, Sedona Prince is no slouch. She averages 17 points a game, 9.4 rebounds, and 2.5 assists, and she does have a field goal percentage of 58%. She was also an integral part of getting the TCU Horned Frogs to that very first Sweet 16. But Sedona Prince's declaration for the WNBA does not come without controversy, as there is locker room chemistry issues claimed by a member of her team in Oregon on the Ducks, and there have been multiple allegations of the various types of abuse that there are by former partners and, again, you know, the former teammate. Keep in mind, there have been no charges filed, and these are all allegations. One of them being that her former partner said that Prince had shoved her off of an ATV in the middle of a jungle and just abandoned her there while they were on vacation in Mexico. Other allegations include emotional abuse and another various type that I just don't even want to go into here. I do heavily want to keep in mind that these are allegations and there are no charges filed. But I do think that this is something that WNBA teams are going to be considering when thinking about drafting her. But at 6'7" tall, and with the capabilities that Sedona Prince has, I think that a lot of teams are going to be weighing those two options. Now, Tankathon, that's a site that does a lot of like predictive analytics, and they have a predictive draft. They have Sedona Prince going at number 12 over to Dallas. I think it's also worth noting that Tankathon has Hailey Van Lith going number 13, and that is over to the Aces via the Sparks trade. And the Wings do have another 6'7" center, Tiara McCowan, on the team. But I could see them taking Prince and building her into a backup, or, you know, putting her in the rotation. There is another center on their Wings, Louisa Geiselsotter, I think it is, and she is signed to a training camp contract with the Wings. She is 6'4", so maybe Sedona Prince and Louisa could be battling it out. Now, moving on to my personal news, I have just added memberships to my channel, so if you feel so inclined to become a member, that would help significantly, as this is my primary source of what I will be doing for the most part, and especially when the season comes. I have been doing a lot of like stuff behind the scenes, working towards that, and I think we are going to be putting out about 3 to 4 videos a week. I am going to start going live also, so I can take like questions in a live. My primary idea is to go live after the games and talk to everybody about them, talk about like what happened, especially with Indiana Fever games, our favorite moments from our favorite player. And I also will be going live this Friday, which is tomorrow, with Venom for his Venom Reacts channel. He and I have actually been talking about this for kind of a while. He's really fun. I love just like chopping it up with that guy. And I have been in YouTube like purgatory trying to like validate my address, trying to send them a new form of identity. So I've been like, a lot of things have been like holding me back a little bit, but I am gearing up and we are hitting the ground running, while I also am a contributing writer to mainly the Indiana Fever for On SI, but I'm also contributing to Women's Fast Break on SI. That does not have to do with mainly Indiana Fever topics, but since my channel is a very Indiana Fever centric channel, I mean, it's called from the logo, I am splitting my time between videos and writing articles for that, of which I am attending my first media dinner with Hailey Van Lith this evening. And anything that comes out of that, I will be sure to write about and maybe touch on in a video here. It's pretty exciting for me, I gotta say. But I always appreciate your feedback in the comments. Love it when people like stuff, and I will see you next time.